Alibaba released their Qwen 3.5 multimodal models in different sizes, especially the 4 billion parameter version. It's built to run smoothly on consumer-grade devices, like standard PCs and laptops with low memory and low VRAM. This made me wonder, is it possible to host this lightweight model on a budget, CPU-only system and still use it to reliably manage our home assistant devices, for instance, turning on a smart plug on and off? To test this theory, I went ahead and got a relatively low-spec VPS. We're talking a basic cloud server with a 4-core vCPU and 16 gigs of RAM, no GPU in sight. I spun up Docker, installed Ollama, and deployed the quantized Qwen 3.5 4B-Q4 model. Right off the bat, I ran a quick test. I booted up the terminal, asked it which model you use, and, well, it actually booted up and replied. Looking at the logs, the response speed clocked in at about 3.9 tokens per second. Now, that's roughly the same speed we got with the Gemma 4 E4B model in our previous video. But I'll be honest, its internal thinking process is pretty long, and it's quite verbose, which makes the overall experience feel a bit sluggish. Still, the fact that it runs on a low-spec cloud CPU means you could easily host this on a budget device you already use for Home Assistant, like a mini PC, a NAS, or a Raspberry Pi. With the model running, the next step is getting it into Home Assistant. Thankfully, Home Assistant has a native Ollama integration. Just head over to Settings, Devices and Services, click Add Integration, and search for Ollama. Pop in your Ollama instance URL. Since we didn't set up an API key, we can just leave that field blank and hit Submit. Now let's see how it handles being our conversation agent. Click Add Conversation Agent, give it a custom name, and select our downloaded Qwen 3.5 4B-Q4 model. Here's a crucial step. Make sure you check the box for Assist and enable Think Before Responding. Keep everything else at their default settings. With that configured, I set up a custom voice assistant in Home Assistant using our new Ollama agent, opened up the chat interface, and started with a softball question. I typed, "Turn off the smart plug with the entity ID switch.smartplugsocket1." Now, because we're running on a low-spec CPU, the loading indicator spun for quite a while, but on the very first try, it actually succeeded. Next, I typed, "Turn off the smart plug with the friendly name bedroom socket," and it worked. To take it a step further, I tested using an alias. Turn off the smart plug with the alias name bedroom socket 1. Again, the command executed successfully. Now, I did run these tests multiple times, and to be fair, it did fail occasionally. But Qwen 3.5 is a multimodal model, so we have to test its vision capabilities. Let's try an AI task. Go back to your Ollama integration page, click Add AI Task, and use the exact same model settings as before. Next, head over to Developer Tools, go to the Actions tab, and select Generate Data. We'll give it a quick task name. To test both its visual parsing and structured output, I gave it this prompt. Describe the image content. If there's a person, output true. If not, output false. I selected our newly created AI task entity, provided a structured output template schema, uploaded a test photo containing a person, and hit Perform Action. After a brief loading pause while the CPU crunched the image, it spit out the properly formatted true. Honestly, not bad at all. Next, to test the model's tool calling ability, I brought back the extended OpenAI conversation integration from a previous video, since it features built-in tools for smart home control. The setup is straightforward. Enter any random characters for the API key, make sure you check Use Tools, and hit Submit. I opened a new conversation window and threw the exact same 3 prompts at it: entity ID, friendly name, and alias name. The model nailed all 3 on the first try. It's clear this little 4B model actually has some serious brains under the hood. Naturally, I wanted to see how far we could push this, so I decided to test its ability to execute custom agent skills. I had an AI write a custom Python skill script for OpenWeb specifically designed for toggling smart home devices. I copied and pasted that into the skill creator. Then I had the AI write a matching tool script, pasted it into the tool section, and linked both the skill and the tool to our Qwen 3.5 model. I opened the chat and ran our first test using the explicit entity ID. Success! It worked smoothly. For the second test, I doubled the stakes. I asked it to execute 2 commands at once, turn off both the light and the plug, specifying their exact entity IDs. Again, it sailed right through. But then we hit a wall. When I tried to trigger the exact same skills using a friendly name or an alias name, something strange happened. Looking at the model's thinking logs, I could see that the AI successfully identified the correct entity IDs. It knew exactly what devices I was talking about, but for some reason, it just couldn't trigger the actual execution command. The action just stalled out. After a series of rather unscientific and casual tests, the Qwen 3.5 4B-Q4 model seems decently usable when it comes to smart home control. By the way, I've put together a document summarizing everything from this video and all of our past videos, link in the description. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to test this model on your own hardware. As always, your likes and subscribes keep me going. Thanks for watching.